So one reason I had you guys read about games this week is because I wanted to highlight the importance of curiosity in learning and the question of what makes learners curious about what you're trying to teach them. For example, this question, do you want to know the answer to that? It has to do with creating a gap in the learner's mind where you stimulate interest in some way that highlights something that they don't know. And often, obviously, that's just a simple question. What makes people curious? And there's been some interesting research on this. Number one is different types of questions can stimulate curiosity and learning. The other thing is to really give people some information. So interesting facts, factoids, if you will. Think about those, fun facts that children love so much. A little bit of information that actually makes them ask more questions. The third thing that often really gets people intrigued is narrative, and that's one reason I had you look at some research on case-based learning, unfinished stories, or posing a situation that doesn't really have a resolution. So case-based study is often really intriguing because it could be of a company, for example, where they're faced with some problems they don't know how to solve. Problem-based learning, more generally, is often very much about posing a kind of challenge and trying to get your learner to help solve it, to look for information that can solve a problem. So it's a little bit like that mystery game for learning. It's like that the TV show House, where there's this kind of undiagnosable disease that nobody can figure out how to cure. Those are things that really get people very curious and really intrigued in learning more. So, what are some other ways that you can inspire that kind of gap for your learners? The interesting thing about games is that they're really based on little mini challenges and allowing people to increase the levels of those challenges as they go, for example. You may have also heard of the concept of cognitive dissonance. It sometimes actually creating some kind of conflict or having them choose between two possible solutions to a problem or explanations for a set of facts is a really interesting way to get people thinking about something in new ways. And then lastly, just letting them explore a new area in a more open-ended way through just interesting information and posing ideas that they may not even have ever thought about or even know that they wanted to learn more about. So those are just some of the really simple ways to get started on posing some interesting challenges and creating some gaps in your learner's mind.